Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm breaking down the exact steps to create your very first video using nothing but your smartphone. I will also show you a real example by creating a short video using these steps. So stick around, you won't want to miss this. Video creation has become one of the most valuable skills today. It allows you to share your story, whether it's a personal story, your family vacation, or even your business. And the best part of it all is that you don't need any expensive gear to create videos. In fact, your smartphone is going to be enough. Check out my other video on the reasons why you should be creating your videos today. In this video, I'm going to give you a complete guide of how you can start creating videos as a beginner and will enable you to create your first video. If you're new here, by the way, I'm Anshu and I have been a photographer for over 15 years now. If you have not subscribed to my channel, then please do consider subscribing to see more videos like this. I started creating YouTube videos about 6 months ago and my personal videos about a year back. It has completely changed the way I perceive things around me, including photography. I want to share my experience as a beginner because I struggled a lot when I started creating videos. Hope this guide helps you in kickstarting your own video making journey. I'm going to take a lot of examples from my recent vacation in Sri Lanka and will give you examples at each of these steps. By the way, I'm taking a slight break in editing my Sri Lanka vacation videos. I still have a couple of more videos to upload from my trip which I filmed there, and I am going to upload those after this video, and I just wanted to take a little break from processing those videos. Being a photographer for over many years, I always think in still frames. So when I started creating videos, it was quite a jarring experience for me to start thinking in moving frames and also audio. But I feel if you're a photographer, your skills as a photographer can be quite helpful and you can apply your skills of composition, storytelling from still frames now to moving frames. I'm going to give you a step-by-step process which will enable you to make videos from scratch. Now, for the first step, let's start with the camera settings itself. So when you're looking at your phone settings, there are two very important things which you should be aware of. Select resolution as 4K or HD. It is preferable to select 4K, but it will consume more storage space on your phone. Now, the second setting which you should be aware of, the frames per second. Select frame per seconds in your camera setting. 24 FPS should be enough for most video footage. Select 60 FPS if you want to slow down your video. The second step which you need to be aware of is lighting, and I'm in fact including it as a part of step because lighting is going to be very critical to your videos, just as lighting is very critical in photography. If you're shooting indoors, then try to shoot near a window which will give you a nice natural light, and it goes without saying, if you're shooting outdoors, then try to shoot during the golden hour, which will give you the most glowing kind of video footage and also cinematic looking. In case if you're indoor and you don't have good natural light, then you can also try out some LED lights. Here's when the video was shot without any light, and here's a video when the video was shot using just the window light, and here is the same video footage when I shot it using an LED light. Step 3 is going to be stabilizing of the video footage. Being a photographer, this is again something quite new for me, and I'm sure for most of the photographers out there. So the only stabilization we are concerned about is the camera stabilization, and especially if you slow down your shutter, then you may see some kind of a camera shake. But in fact, when you are shooting a video, stabilizing your footage is going to be quite critical. The good news is that most of the mobile phones these days have inbuilt stabilization, and try to enable that on your phones. And I would also recommend you can go ahead and use a tripod if you still feel that your videos are not being stable enough. The next step is going to be to focus on audio, and again this is something completely new if you're a photographer just like me, and audio was in fact the hardest thing to master when I started creating videos. It is very important that you have a good quality sound. Even if your video footage is very scenic and cinematic, but your audio quality is not good, then it will not appeal to your audience. I highly recommend buying a wireless microphone, so something like a DJI Mic Mini, which is quite an affordable mic, and I have also done a review of this mic. If you want, you can check it out here. As I said earlier, audio was the most hardest part for me to learn as a photographer, and I started with buying some very cheap microphone which was really not good, and the audio was terrible until I discovered a good wireless microphone. And if you plan to shoot a lot of videos outdoor, then look for microphones which has a good noise cancelling feature. In case if you are planning to shoot indoors, then a microphone with kind of a basic noise cancellation would also suffice. The next step is to focus on the composition. Now this is going to be slightly easy if you're a photographer. So good composition is something which we look for as a photographer, and try to extend your skill of looking for composition in a still frame to a moving frame now. Now there are few very basic camera movements which you can try practicing as a beginner, and I wouldn't suggest that you go ahead and do lots of camera movements like panning in, zooming out and things like that, but capturing these 3 basic camera movements as a beginner will actually give you more professional looking video. So the first movement which I'm talking about is no movement at all. So what I mean is either you keep your phone handheld steady and you let the action happen in your frame. So once you have mastered this camera movement, then you can move to a slightly advanced movement where I would recommend going with movements like panning shots. So what I mean by panning shots is moving your phone camera from say left to right or from down to up. So we have arrived at the most interesting part of the video making, that's the editing. So editing is where the whole action will come together. And before we start talking about editing, I just wanted to say I'm not a big fan of editing videos on phone, but if that is still your preferred way of editing videos, then there are a lot of free options of phone editors which you can go ahead and try. Apps like InShot, VN Editor are good software and also available for free, which you can use for video editing. So a little bit about video editing on the desktop. Now, before I started creating personal videos, I did try out few free software and none of them were actually very good. So either they were very slow for my desktop, or it didn't have very good features for editing. And unless I stumbled upon DaVinci Resolve, and this is the editing software which I have been now using for more than 6 months, and I'm actually more than happy using this. Now DaVinci Resolve is a very simple and intuitive software, yet a very complex software. So it is as friendly for beginners as it is for an advanced video editor as well. Just mastering few of the very basic editing functionality, say like cutting your video clips, moving your video clips, adding some sound effects and audio effects, some video transition, is actually what you will need as a beginner. It should cover the 90% of your editing requirement, and you can go and enhance your video editing skills as and when you require them. So before we start editing videos, I just want to talk a bit about storytelling. Now, when you want to create videos, whether it's a video for YouTube or whether it's your personal video or your family video, so to tell a story with your video clips, follow very few basic steps which will actually help establish your story to your audience. Here is a very simple way to do that. So for example, if I'm going on a vacation, there are few things which I keep in mind, though I would have not planned a lot in advance. So the first thing is try to look for some establishing shots. So for example, arriving at your destination, taking the flight, taking the taxi to your location. The second thing which you should be aware of is creating some small moments. So I'm all talking about personal videos and your family videos. So some conversation between your family members, you enjoying your breakfast with your family and things like that. So these small things will really add up in your video clips and will tell a story. And then think a little bit about how you are going to transition your story. So for example, day one could convey that you were traveling on day one, and then day two could be that you went for a sightseeing. So maybe try to incorporate, say, something like a morning routine, like getting up and watching the sunrise, having a coffee, and then going and sightseeing that location. And to make the video come more alive, then start adding few things, like you could add a voiceover or you could add music to your videos, and I'll talk about music in a minute. And then you can also add text if you don't want to do a voiceover or describe your video. Then you can even add text to your video saying what that location was or what the destination was and giving some details about those destinations. A little bit about music. So if you want to add a little bit of jazz to your videos, then you can add a background music. Now there are a lot of free resources which you can use today. So I only use two resources for all of my music, which I use for YouTube and even my personal video. So the first resource is YouTube Music, which is actually a free resource of music, which also has a lot of Indian music which you can add to your videos. And the second resource is a site called Creator Mix. Now they also have some very nice background music which I use a lot to add in my videos. Very quickly, I'm going to show you how you can create a very simple videos using all the steps which we just spoke about now. So I have DaVinci Resolve open now, and I have created a new project. There are a few video clips which I want to import now. So let's try to first upload few clips which will establish the story. So the first few video clips which I'm going to import are the clips of some establishing shots which we talked about. So establishing shots are shots like when you were traveling, you were in flight, reaching the destination to show where your vacation is going to be. So for example, there are few clips where I took some footage from the flight and I'm just added those footage on a timeline. Now these are the clips which is actually the clips of me arriving at destination, and finally it shows that I have arrived at the Airbnb where I was staying. So after the establishing shots, I want to now add some shots from my next day of travel. So I have a few more clips. So I ended the previous clip with me arriving at the Airbnb, and then I'm starting the next day at the same location. So I'm just showing my Airbnb, and it's kind of conveying that I have a new day ahead now. So I'm now adding few more clips about some breakfast which we had at the beach, and these are like more like the kind of a fun family moments. And then after that, I'm going to add some more shots from some of the sightseeing shots. Then I'm going to add a final ending clip. After I have these clips, I just use a shortcut on DaVinci Resolve to combine all these clips together, and I just don't want to show you the boring parts right now, but I will reduce some of these clips. And currently, if you can see, it is at around 1 minute 16 seconds. Probably I'll reduce it to somewhere less than a minute. A few basic things also which I wanted to show you is, like, you can add some titles to your footage. So to add titles to your footage, there is an option of adding title. So for example, I can add a title to say taking flight, and things like that. And maybe I'll add some more description to this video clip. And then there were a couple of more things which I wanted to show you, was adding music. Yes. So to add music, there is a so with the YouTube library, you can actually download those music on your desktop, and then you can import it in your video clips. So I will just choose a random music for now. So that's about it. This is all you need to learn as a basic video editing skills. And once you finalize your video, then we can go to the render module and just render this complete file which you have created, and you will have your video ready. The final step is going to be uploading your videos. I highly recommend you upload your videos on YouTube. And I'm not talking about public videos, but even if you want to share your videos with your family and friends, you can upload your videos on YouTube as unlisted videos. So this will ensure that your videos are not public, and you can still securely share video links with your family and friend. Though YouTube is free and you can upload unlimited number of videos, be very mindful. YouTube has very strict policies of uploading videos. So no copyrighted images, footage, music, or anything which will actually create a copyright issue. And also be very careful of not uploading any offensive content to YouTube. So what did you think about this video? Do you create videos, or do you have any plans of creating videos? Do leave me a comment below. and I will be more than happy to address any of your questions you have on creating your videos. If you found this video to be helpful, then please do like my video and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in another video. Till then, bye.